Rev up your engines! Okay, today we're going to show you why Toyota makes more sense than all these idiotic companies that say we're going to make all electric cars, blah, 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 blah. Hybrid cars are what people really want. This is a 2012 Camry hybrid. They've been making Camry hybrids since 2006. And unlike all electric cars, where there's millions of problems, with the main one being range anxiety, now this is an old one, but it has 462 miles of range with electricity and gasoline. And if you go for a new one, a 2022 Camry hybrid, that sucker has 686 miles of range. You're not going to worry about running out of fuel. Range anxiety is not a thing with a Toyota hybrid. It's the exact opposite. You're passing most of the gas stations. That's the reason that Toyota hit the nail on the head. People want to have something that they're not worried about. Now, let's say you go plug-in. Then you can drive the newer ones, an electric range, and some will go 50 to 65 miles on electricity alone, so you can use them as a city car, where they're fully electric. But then you want to go someplace, hey, you still got 500 miles of range plus. So it's a car that fits everything. I was just reading a thing the other day. I was laughing my rear end because they said, electric car sales, fully electric cars are really falling. And one of the reasons was a lot of people are downsizing. So a family that had two cars now has one car. One car has to do it all. If you have an electric car, it's not going to do it all for cross-country trips, right? But if you get a hybrid Toyota, there's one car that can do it all. Now, he bought this thing used. He bought it for only $7,500 with 130,000 miles. It's got about 207,000 miles. And you think, oh, well, he bought a used hybrid. What has he done? Brake pads and changed the oil in the thing. It's still running on the original hybrid battery. Toyota makes good hybrids. And a lot of people didn't know that they started making Camry hybrids in '06. So this isn't a new thing. It's been almost 20 years. And believe me, what Toyota does is gradually they perfect things. Now, those of you that thought, oh, I don't want a Prius, I don't want to look hippy-dippy, okay, this is just a Camry that happens to be a hybrid, you know? It looks like a Camry. I mean, if you really didn't like it, you could take off the hybrid sticker here, get some Gooby Gone, take it off, and no one would know. Now we're going to go through the whole thing with all my fancy electronics, but first we'll look under the hood, and it's a typical Toyota hybrid. It's got the 4-cylinder, and it is their very reliable 2.5-liter engine, and then it's got the hybrid drive that's added onto it. All the orange stuff is high electricity, so I won't be touching that anytime soon. Okay, 207,000 miles. Everything on it is practically original, except for the brake pads and the oil filter and the air filter, right? Toyota knows how to make these things. Now, I admit, you're gambling, buying a used hybrid, right? Well, for the small amount of money that he paid, and he's gotten over 70,000 miles out of it with oil changes and brake pads, you can say the guy really got a good deal going there, you know? Because, granted, you buy a brand new one, they're not cheap, but being a Toyota Camry, being reliable, just because they're a hybrid doesn't make them unreliable. They're still Toyotas. Look any different, yeah? Got a nice interior, and I actually like the older screens better than the newer screens. Leather seats are still in really good shape. Sunroof's working. It's detected it already. We'll do a standalone diagnosis, and here we go. This is 2012 Camry HV hybrid. As it's doing a whole topology scan. So here we go, scan the whole car, and as it does, look, it's a regular car, you know. It's almost done. It's found 3 trouble codes so far, and it looks like it's all just the usual things you don't really care about. So we'll start over here. The smart key. They always get codes as they age. Trouble codes are for the smart key. Lost communication with control module. Often happens with smart keys. Batteries get bad or whatever. Somebody might have fixed it, never reset it. So we'll erase those codes. So now we'll look at the other code, which is probably another crazy one. Power source control code. Okay, so the body control module, just a weak 12-volt battery in this thing. They have 12-volt batteries in it. Can do that, so we'll erase that too. They're probably all soft codes. They won't come back when I just check it. We'll find out. We'll see if it's soft codes or not. Okay, they're all soft codes. So what we want to look at now is the hybrid system. All kinds of information on the hybrid system. This is the engine system, but it's also going to do all the other information. Very small batteries in good shape, no trouble codes, transmission data. And here we go, information on the battery, and you can see it's all zero. There weren't any problems. Now, the main battery, low voltage is 255, and that's good because it's a 244 volt system, so that's fine. Voltage start situation is normal. And realize, like I said, look, this baby's almost got 207,000 miles. Still the original hybrid battery, still in excellent shape. DC-DC converter temperature, there's all kinds of data that you needed for an electric vehicle because they're rather complicated, the electrical part of the hybrid. The individual battery block voltage, you can see they're all pretty much the same, what they're supposed to be, all the way up into the 17th block. This can check them all, go a lot further than what I'm doing now, but they're all within specs. One of them was bad, you could see. You can replace the blocks when they go bad, but these are still in excellent shape. It shows you the little baby auxiliary battery voltage, which is good too. Shows you the temperature of all of them. Even shows you the internal resistance of all 17 of them. Lots of information that you can get if there is a problem. But, as I said, it doesn't have any problems. Here we go, it's already started, but the hybrid's just not making any noise. And you can see it's an old backup camera, but hey, it doesn't work that bad. You can see where you're going. Man, this thing's quiet. Of course, it's not going to shake at all. It will run a certain amount of time on battery alone, but we're going to be going up a hill, so the motor is turned on now. And it is a relatively low car, so we'll go slow over the hump here, and away we go to the horrible roads of Rhode Island. We'll see how this Camry rides. Camrys generally ride pretty good, and these hybrid batteries aren't all that heavy. So, since it's not a plug-in hybrid or a fully electric car, it doesn't have the weight, it doesn't have the stiffer ride. And really, going over these bumps here, it's not bad at all. And for you techies, shows you what's happening. The engine, charging the battery, running the car, all that information you can look at yourself if you want to. Now, the Toyota 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine is strong enough by itself, but when you add this hybrid drivetrain into the mix, they're relatively quick. Here we go. It's got decent pickup. It's not a race car by any stretch of the imagination. If you get a V6 TRD Camry, you'd be disappointed here because that's 300 horsepower. But, you know, you got to pass somebody. You step in the gas. It goes. The CVT transmission is a little bit laggy upon harsh acceleration, I will say that. Nice car, a lot of mileage, 200-something thousand miles, still runs perfectly fine, nice and quiet, doesn't burn oil, and it just feels like a Toyota Camry, and looks like a Toyota Camry. Of course, it doesn't get the same phenomenal gas mileage as a Toyota Prius because they weigh less, they're lower to the ground, they have less horsepower, but still, it gets good gas mileage. And it's a Camry. And this guy does a lot of delivery, Uber, DoorDash, all that stuff. So this car's actually making him money. That's how he put so many miles on it already. I can see driving on his bumpy roads. The struts are worn. They're still the original ones. It goes down the road fine. Just realized it's a little bit bumpy. But then again, so is my wife's Matrix. There she goes. A Toyota Camry. 207,000 miles. He bought it used with 130, has had no problems, showing that hybrids are really the way to go. As the brand new electric cars pile up because nobody wants to buy them, you had to wait months or a year to get a hybrid RAV4 plug-in. People are going for the hybrids, and it only makes sense. You have zero range anxiety, negative range anxiety. When a new one can go 600 something miles, you're not going to have range anxiety, right? And even this, I would have anxiety buying a hybrid that had 100,000 miles on it, right? This had 130. He bought it less than $8,000 and he's still driving and it runs perfectly fine. Now, there is a deal to be had. Toyota knew what they were doing when they were building these hybrids. They've been building since 2006. So, Maybe if you find a good deal on a used one, why not snap it up? Try a hybrid car. See what you think about it. Because believe you me, it's going to be a long time, if ever, that electric cars take over the road. There's too many hassles. Just way too many. And this thing shows it's held up all that mileage. Let's say you don't want to gamble with a used one. You buy a new one and you're going 200-something thousand miles, you're getting your money's worth, right? So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.